so good at one particular style, and it no doubt works for them when they're practicing online. You know, against non-ranked teams, against non-competitive teams, it works insanely well. But when you play against the best of the best, it only works sometimes. It's very difficult to make that work. Yeah,
true. So, all right, let's talk about the rankings then. Here are the rankings as of today. Today is day 15, week 8. EL Gaming and Karen Tigers, like we said, 30 points, 29 points. They are definitely secure. I don't see them not making the Asia Grand Finals.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But if you look at B Gaming, Horsemen, Immortals, and TE, everyone's 1 point away from each other. Okay, there's 2 points between Horsemen and B Gaming, but you guys see what I mean. Everyone is so close to one another here that any win or loss can just change the entire rank list.
Absolutely. You know, TCSG and Run down there at the bottom as well, kind of the teams that you need to beat. You can't lose to them. You can't go to tiebreaker with them. You need to get those points secure for sure. It's almost like in this round robin, to be totally frank, Susie, it's like when you pass those teams, it's like passing Go and collecting $200. Like, you need to get those points for those teams. But if you can take a win over a team that's favored, like for example, we're going to see later on today, TE versus Elong. If TE can somehow take this crazy upset and win, that's going to be like the hardest 3 points you can even get in this tournament. So that just pushes them up so much more. And when everyone else plays against Elong, if they can't do the same, then it gives TE an advantage. So all these matches today are really important. And again, I said this last Thursday, but even if a team is not favored to win, they're going to try so hard to get those 3 points against one of these tougher teams.
They absolutely have to. And like you said, well, I mean, to be honest with you, EL Gaming has not lost to anybody just yet.
Yeah.
So unless they're having an off day, it's going to be an uphill climb for team efficiency. But you know what? Who's to say? Because anything can happen in World of Tanks.
Anything can happen. You know, we saw teams take games off of big teams just last week that we did not expect.
Yep.
Some really good series out of these two teams, or those two teams that played.
Yeah. But speaking of last week's matches, here's today's matchups. Today we have Team Efficiency versus Elong Gaming, like we said, match number 1. This is going to be huge for Team Efficiency if they can actually pull up a win. But and Elong Gaming, even if they lose, they pretty much secure a top 2 spot.
Yeah.
Then we've got Horsemen versus B Gaming, and I think this is the match that we're really waiting on because both of them so close in points. They really want to get up there. I mean, these two teams are the ones who want to try to climb this ladder and at least finish 3rd, right? And then we've got Karen Tiger versus TCSG. Again, probably a one-sided match. Karen Tiger being number 2 and looking super strong as they were able to demonstrate last week.
Yeah, Karen Tiger is just too careful for TCSG. Like, there's no way. There's just simply no way I can imagine TCSG taking that one. But we're going to see it unfold. We're going to see if it happens today. Horsemen versus B Gaming is such an important match because, like you said, these teams are so close to each other in points. The winner gets so much momentum because it's like the direct comparison match between these two. So if you can actually win this cleanly without even going to a tiebreaker, you're going to jump up so high in the rankings.
Yep, so incredible matches for tonight. And again, the tiebreaker map will be on Ruinberg. And yeah, so these are our matchups. Any predictions?
I think the first match is going to be a 5-0 with Elong taking it, but I think the second match actually is going to go to tiebreaker. I think it is. I think Horseman is going to bring it today.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'm going to go with a 5-3. I'm not sure which team, though.
I want to go with B Gaming is going to win it, but I think Horseman is really going to bring it a close match. B Gaming looks to be improving so much so quickly. Same with Karen Tigers. Both of these teams just suddenly getting better and better. I mean, they were always good, but then every time I see them, it's like cleaner and cleaner and cleaner each and every time.
All right. Well, you know what? Our first game is going to be on steps, and it looks like the teams are ready. So here we go into game number 1. Welcome to game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. It is Team Efficiency versus Elong Gaming, and Elong is going to take the defensive side first.
That they are, Susie. Let's talk about these tank lineups. Team Efficiency is actually bringing in IS-3 to the table here, so that's interesting because that's a heavy tank, very slow. But we are seeing teams mix it into this map. In fact, we saw Team Efficiency do just that last time they played on this map. The rest of their tanks are going to be lights, T-54s, and a 12-ton. I like the 12-ton on this map. I see Reflection is also on the 12-ton for Elong. And they're bringing a T-32 instead of the IS-3, but one more bigger, tankier tank. And position-wise, on the defensive side, like Elong is playing here, a T-32 can do really well on the edge of the hill, just with that hull down, trying to minimize damage on the turret.
Yeah, those the T-32, all of the American tanks basically have a great advantage when working on the slopes and the little hills and stuff like that. So as you guys can see here, Steps is quite hilly, and it might be a very good pick for them. Now, if you look here, both teams are kind of hugging this railroad track. You can see that they're going to go and take the fights up north today. The entire... I'm really surprised. Take a look at your mini-map.
Yeah.
The entire team of EL Gaming all the way up north by the spawning point. -1 T-54, obviously, to man one base, and the 12-ton for the other base. But Team Efficiency, yeah, they're going to just travel as a pack as well.
Yep. Reflection gets taken out here by Death Skies. He's in a predictable spot in that bush. And once they found out that he was there for sure, they just concentrated fire on him, so eliminated him early on. It's a small lead for Team Efficiency, but it is important. It's going to allow
very
them to,
important.
Yeah.
At this point, I mean, even having one man down, it just automatically makes you a 7v6. And yes, it's a tier 6 tank, but the 12-ton is an autoloader. You have to remember, it does a ton of damage. So for Team Efficiency to get rid of that tank, for just right from the get-go, I think definitely gives them a tiny bit of an edge.
Oh, absolutely. And it is important. It also prevents that tank to be able to scout and get vision about how Elong, or rather about how Team Efficiency is moving, because Elong was the one that lost that 12-ton. So it's very important for both teams to have that extra scout. That's why you can see even the 12-ton for Team Efficiency right now is down a bit further to the south, alone, seeing if they're going for a big push. Because Elong used to play very aggressively. They used to play like Run or TCSG on this map. And now they're playing a little bit more standard, this kind of standoff style, as I like to call on this map, where both teams kind of just aim across the plains.
Yep, and okay, well, you can see here, obviously, Elong knows that they're going to be found out up north. They're going to try to head around south and probably surprise Team Efficiency from the backside. Team Efficiency, however, I feel like they are on to this. They're also going to try to group up, and it looks like they're going to try to take base number 1.
Yep. Now, on that T-32, Nice is ready to deny the capture. He's in a good position to do so. He will have to make sure he hits consistently, and here's a shot of him right now. Trying to go for it here. Meanwhile, the rest of the tanks are to the south. Looks like they're going to try to come from behind. And that T-54 is so important to spot. This Maw is on the T-54. He's going to see this. Actually, you know, it's right outside of his sixth sense. So
yeah,
really good movement here.
Really good movement, EL Gaming. Yeah, he's not going to be able to detect that at all. Maw doesn't. Sicky might, however, if he's close enough.
Oh, so close. They're just right outside of the vision.
Yeah. I mean, EL Game, okay, here we go. Sicky now knows, and there's going to be shots fired towards him. Sicky's going to run away. Luckily, he's on the T-54, has great speed. He's going to just get out of the line of fire. And while this is happening, EL Gaming running as a pack, this is really scary. Especially if you're a member of Team Efficiency, you do not want to see this. Maw is going to take a ton of damage. He was being focused fired down before with 4 of the members of Elong. Gets taken out very quickly. And now, yeah, it's just going to be a shootout. They're just standing off and staring at each other, man. This is West Side Story all over again.
It certainly is, and D-Juice is in such a vulnerable spot right here. I think he needs to be pulled back to the back where he can actually do that extra damage with safety. He does bait Black out here a little bit, actually, though. So Black does take a decent amount of damage. And Team Efficiency not in a terrible spot here, but they are working against the clock, and the longer this goes on, the less time they have.
Guanman's going to come up and try to kill a member of Team Efficiency, but he's going to be surrounded. As you can see here, D-Juice needs to be able to take this shot, but look at this hill that does not allow them to really shoot straight forward.
Yeah.
They're going to hide right underneath it, and that's really smart. TE takes out Fox. That was great focus fire right there.
Yeah, it looks like Elong is actually going to take this fight. I don't think this is the right choice because they're down a tank here, but Nice does take out Dex. D-Juice goes down as well. Guanman dies for it, though. Spring on the retreat here. Again, they're buying more time at this point. There goes Death Skies. Look at Spring's positioning up on that hill. Wow.
Well, obviously he wasn't going anywhere, but you know what? They did a really good job of baiting the rest of the team to come and follow after him. Team Efficiency's accuracy today, pretty on point.
Yeah.
I am quite impressed with the way they've played. Mega Joel down to barely nothing, but he is still alive and still able to shoot. And that is a very important thing. Look at that. Even with 22 HP, he is able to go ahead and help out, take out Black. It is now a 3v2, but Team Efficiency is down to like 114 HP altogether.
Mega Joel gets taken out here. The problem again for Team Efficiency is the clock is working against them. They only have 1 minute and 30 seconds to win by elimination here. Winning by base capture, most likely impossible. Now Newman has spotted Elite. He's going for the chase, but he's very low.
He He is very low. Wow. And, well, you know, as we know that Elon Gaming has some great accuracy as well, it looks like they're going to start hunting and killing off the members. There we go. And Elon goes ahead and takes game number 1. It was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, though.
Yeah, a very close game there. And, you know, honestly, I feel like when Elon rushed in there, I thought it was a terrible position, but their control of the situation is so good. Even watching their players run up the hill, Spring's like, I'm going up the hill, focused on me. You know, 2 shots get missed. He basically like absorbs damage by, like, he doesn't actually absorb it physically, but he's drawing fire away from the rest of the tanks. And Elon is great in these situations. That's why we saw them be so aggressive on this map at the beginning of the season, like we saw them play, you know, in the World Finals against the Polish team. They're very, very aggressive. They're very good at these types of situations. So even going into a position where they're not favored, they're able to take that fight. But it was really close. And like you said, Team Efficiency's accuracy today is really on point. So I got to say, you know, I think they might be able to take some games here. If they keep playing like that, it's totally possible.
It's totally possible. I'm very proud of Team Efficiency today. I mean, and Elon, they tweeted earlier today, Team Efficiency going, oh gosh, we're going to be playing against this beast, you know, this huge team. But they're definitely showing us some great games. So far, this first game has been amazing, and I am super excited to see what they're going to bring to the table in the next one. Yeah,
I think we're going to see both teams keep the tank lineup the same. The only tank that ended up being a bit weak, I feel, was Elon's T-32. It ended up being too useful there. I mean, it survived until the end, and it did do the damage that was able to win them the game. But in the fight itself, it didn't do too much. It was in a good position to deny the base capture, so that was important. I feel like that's the only tank that's really switchable here for these two teams right now. If they want to switch to an IS-3 or switch to another T-54, that's something they could do. Elon has done 6 T-54 lineup in the past. In fact, at the beginning of the season, they did that a lot.
Yeah, I remember that, actually. You know, one thing I wanted to point out was when Team Efficiency was running, the IS-3 and the 12-ton actually ended up running together, which was really smart. You know, you use that huge, heavy armored tank to try to protect your damage dealer, you know?
Yeah, it's absolutely true. And you know, that's what you need to do, because a 12-ton actually does more damage, essentially, if it can actually focus on target than a T-54 does.
Right.
As long as it's got its shells reloaded, you know. But if it gets picked off early, you lose that damage, which is part of the reason why Elon had such a tough time in that game.
Absolutely. And Elon also lost their 12-ton like right off the bat in the beginning. So, all right, well, let's take a look how things are going to pan out in game number 2. Okay, game number 2 has begun, and it is again Team Efficiency versus Elon Gaming. Elon taking that first game on the defense one more time.
All right, same tank lineup, Susie, as expected from these two teams.
Nothing's changed.
And let's see if Elon's going to take the same strat again. I actually feel like they might change it up here and try to like more aggressively push towards base capture 1.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Elon is also one of those teams, they won't do the same trick twice, you know? And obviously, that'd be kind of dumb, since, you know, the other team has now already seen your tactic. Okay, well here, I mean, I'm going to eat my words. It looks like Elon is going to start off the same. The 12-ton sitting in the bush, as expected, and Elon is on the north side, hugging the railroad tracks one more time. It is starting to look pretty similar, but we're going to have to see what they do. It all depends on how Team Efficiency decides to move, I think. I feel that Elon, this is like their kind of like sit and wait position, and then as soon as they see what Team Efficiency is up to, they've got like this little handbook of, all right, we're going to do this position now, or this strategy.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I just feel like putting the 12-ton in the same bush is so risky, and I don't think Team Efficiency is going to try to go for the attack on that right now, but he just does show himself here.
All right, Team Efficiency taking some shots at Elon, not really connecting right now, but at least that lets them know that they are on the other side of this railroad tracks. Mega Joel is going to head over into the... He's going to try to sneak over on top, I believe.
Well, Ak taking some serious damage. The focus fire is intense. And with that, he's able to you know, eliminate most of his hit points. Black down to 211. And again, Elon gets crippled in the early game right now.
All right. Wow, Black definitely did take a lot of damage. Mega Joel as well. He's getting chipped because they know he's up there, and he's going to try and go ahead and see if he could bait them. You know, that's what it feels like to me. All the way up north, he's either going to be in a good position to be able to snipe or try to bait out players to come at him and allow his teammates to kill off other members.
Okay, base capture has started just briefly. They're on the edge of it.
They are on the edge of it. They don't want to quite get in there just yet. I think D-Juice does get knocked out.
I mean, just like you were saying, like they don't want to get in there yet, and D-Juice just got a bit too close. Look at the setup for Elong. It's so good. They've got this incredible arc. No stone will ever be left unturned. They have this ability to, if anyone gets into their vision range, if anyone gets into their firing range, they can have 6 tanks blow them up in a second.
I know, and actually we have seen this tactic before. This is the one where they hug along that little coastline.
Yep.
It's a little hill, and everyone just sits there and makes sure they can, because one, they're close to base capture number 2. Also, they can just look at on the mini-map here. Everyone is facing base capture number 1. So they have both places covered. Team Efficiency really needs to think of a strategy where they can either start capturing or pick off members of EL Gaming, but at this moment I don't see that happening. Dexter is going to take some damage. The IS-3, he's going to slowly try to let this the lower ground of the railroad tracks give him some cover as he makes his way around.
And so far, you know, I feel like even though Team Efficiency is down quite a bit in this game, they are making a push towards drawing the Elong players towards the north, and I think those 3 T-54s are going to run into the capture point right from the south. They're going to run up there and try to capture it, just basically like try to rush it down really quickly. I'm
a little bit worried because the IS-3 is the one who's supposed to be giving cover, right, quote unquote, since he is a heavy tank, but he's down low at 517 HP. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough, basically, for this offensive attack to happen. You can see. Oh, wow. Okay. Yep. Well, there's no defense there now.
I think it was a good read by Elong because I think they were like, well, if we can eliminate this IS-3, they'll never be able to win by base capture. And now they also can't win in the fight.
Yeah.
I think that Elong's looking at this like, this is our win condition. If we kill this IS-3 at this point, we win the game. Now with 7 tanks to 5.
Yeah, 5 tanks. And, okay, so now you can see they're decided not to do that tactic. They're not going to run the base capture. There's no way they're going to be able to survive that. So here, Team Efficiency going to go down south and all the way around. I think the best tactic right now for them is to try to surprise them from behind. Maybe pick off tanks that are just on the loose, you know, rogue tanks, if you will.
Yeah, you know, I feel like this is basically just them trying to figure out the best way they can win by elimination. But Elong is just going to read this like a book. They haven't seen it yet, but they know that the base is clear and there's no capture going on. So this move out over here is going to be easily spotted. They're just going to set up an arc. Already Ma shows himself trying to take out Guan Ren. And if Reflection gets nearby, the fireworks are going to fly here, Susie.
Oh boy. Okay, well, it looks they're going to have to get rid of one of them. They have to. And because they're just going to start firing at Team Efficiency. Team Efficiency trying to do a sneaky drive-by, trying to not get hit. Reflections does go out. Death Skies is able to take him.
Will they lose Elite for it, though? They may very well. Newman here in a great spot, and Black also so far away, very carefully trying to send some extra cover fire here. Elite dodges a few shots here. Spring coming up in the front lines, might be able to take out Ma.
I think he's going to just try to ram into him. There you go. He is down, and yes, EL Gaming is just going to take this fight now. They're going to go ahead and try to clean up the rest of Team Efficiency. Team Efficiency had a great idea, but were not able to execute it, and EL just had a great reading on them altogether. Mega Joel, last guy left. Look at all that focus.
Boom. Finishes him with another ram. 2 ram kills in this game.
You know, I want to say I'm pretty sure Spring sat there like, guys, don't shoot. I want to really ram this guy to death.
Let me ram him. Yeah, that game was over. But you know, I have to give it to Team Efficiency. They are trying to play straight up against the best team in Asia. They're like not doing cheesy strategies, not doing anything risky, not taking big gambles. They're just actually trying to beat them straight up without positioning, with focus firing. Good tactics when they're down, like that move that they did there was really good. They struggled to find a target to eliminate, though, and they did end up splitting their fire quite a bit, so they couldn't actually take out any of the targets. And then things just went badly for them because they were out in the open. And they had no 12-ton, and Elong had a 12-ton, and that's going to give you a bunch of extra damage.
They did get rid of the 12-ton at the end. They did get rid of Flexion, and then after that, it all kind of went downhill. They really need to find a T-54 of some sort to kill one by one, but they were kind of unable to do that. Okay, so as we go into Team 3, Game 3, we're going to switch sides now, which means team efficiency will be on the defense and the clock will be on their favor.
Yeah, now we have seen some tanks, so we're going to be swapping sides, right? So we have seen some tanks use the T-32 on the attack, but I don't think Elong is going to be one of them. They might bring that IS-3 in, or they might run all T-54s, totally possible. They could even bring in a 1390. Wouldn't actually be crazy to see Elong do that on this map because it's still pretty quick and it does a lot of autoloader damage. I'm curious to see, though, is Team Efficiency going to bring the T-32 on the defense now? I think they will, because most teams are doing that right now. But Team Efficiency is not always, they don't always like to play that insanely standard style.
They might be comfortable on that IS-3 as well. IS-3 does give good cover. Again, it's a big, heavy, tanky tank.
Yeah.
And so, especially if it's just going to sit back and start poking at anyone who's trying to capture the base, I mean, I think the IS-3 might be a good choice as well.
Yeah, well, either choice is totally viable. Team Efficiency playing a great series so far, I have to say. Really impressed with their play. I mean, yeah they lost 2-0, and I know people watching are like, why is Wolf saying that? Because they're down 2-0, but they're showing some incredible play. And to look this good against Elong is you know, it's hard to see.
Yeah.
Almost no one's doing it.
Yeah, and they've definitely have been showing us that they are ready to play with the big boys. They really do want to get up there. Whew. All right, it looks like game is going to be ready. We'll see if there's any tank changes. Let's get into set number 3. Okay, set number 3, Team Efficiency versus EL Gaming. We have Team Efficiency now on the defense, and EL is up 2 games.
RU-251 actually coming out for Elong, which is almost like adding in a 6 T-54, but it's a little bit different.
Wow, we haven't seen that RU-251 in a really long time.
Yeah, and on that is actually Fox. Same tanks, on the other hand, 14 efficiencies. They're going to run that T-32.
They are. Okay.
I mean, I say same tanks, but it's like the same as the defending team we saw last time.
Right.
So they're copying Elong here, essentially.
So yeah, basically a bunch of little lightweights for EL. They're going to go with a handful or more of the T-54s, an RU-251, and a 12-ton.
The fact that the 12-ton is actually coming with them right now leads me to believe that they're actually going to try to go for a fight right away. I don't think this is going to be a really big positioning battle. I mean, obviously they're not going to be able to run straight in there. That would be suicidal. That would be run-esque. But I think they're planning on taking a big fight ASAP. Now the 12-ton does split off a little bit. So maybe I'm wrong here, but they're moving very quickly. Look at all these blind shots.
Wow, that is crazy. I mean, having the 12-ton away, I can understand. I totally do understand that because it's the guy who should sit in the back and just deliver the damage, right? So having an RU-251, in case you guys are new to this is pretty much the fastest light tank there is. It's got really high DPM, like this thing is just going to zip around you like no other, even more so than the T-54s that we always see here. So I mean,
it's just a little bit weaker, like hit point wise. So that's part of the reason why we don't see it all the time. But it's a great tank for a fight, and positioning and maneuvering, it's excellent.
Yeah.
So we actually see that Elong takes a bit of damage here, but nothing too substantial just yet. I think they're looking for a charge in here. They might actually try to converge on Ma.
Okay, well the positioning for Team Efficiency is exactly the standard positioning that we've seen before. The one that EL Gaming did in set number 2, where they're just kind of hiding out behind between the spawn point and base capture number 2. All right, well Ma did try to go in there and try to take out Nice. Nice did not want to have any of it though. And Team Efficiency is now down a tank.
They're down a tank, but they did trade pretty well with that. So hit point wise, they're actually still ahead, but it's so important to have that tank, as we've been saying over and over and over again. All right, they've got their 12-ton reflection in this case, sitting on the capture point. But I don't think he's going to stay there for very long.
No, I don't think he will either. The sirens have gone off, and obviously Team Efficiency knows what's going on. Fox from up top. He's going to just try to take some shots from far away. He's like right on the border of where the map ends,
yeah,
you know?
He's right on, that's that red line. If you're a newer World of Tanks player or viewer, that's like the out-of-bounds border. If you stay out there too long, your tank will just get destroyed, so you can't actually leave the area.
All right.
You physically can, but you shouldn't stay there.
You shouldn't if you want to keep your tank, basically, right?
Exactly.
So, okay, the base timer is down to 62 seconds. Reflection is just still just chilling out in there. No one's really taking shots at him, while the RU-251 is causing some ruckus. It looks like Team Efficiency is really trying to focus on him and ignoring the fact that there are tanks over by the base capture, and now there's more than one tank. There's 3 tanks in there, 10 seconds left. EL is playing this out so smart.
Yeah, I feel like Team Efficiency may have misprioritized that RU-251 because, I mean, 4 seconds to go, 3 seconds to go here. They could very well just win this with the capture. Oh, the tanks actually leave though. But still, they're seeing Dexta come in. That's why they're moving back. They saved the 12th time. That Skies goes down here. Great reactions by Elong. This is actually so good.
Dexta. Okay, yeah. Well, they almost had that. Elong almost had that, but you know what? They're going to start focus firing on those who are coming towards them. They had all that other backup just waiting for Team Efficiency to get to start making their way to the base capture. And yeah, now there are only 3 tanks left for Team Efficiency. That's
just Elong for you, Susie. They are never going to say, well, I hope they miss, I hope we cap it. They are never going to do that.
No.
They're never going to leave anything to chance. They're going to play as safe as possible every game, no matter what their opponent is. And look at this, just 7 tanks remaining versus 3.
Oh.
Make that 6. But still.
All right, that's still. I mean, we were watching that. Okay, and now all 3 tanks once again going to hang out in the circle of love. No, the circle of base capture, and yep, 10 seconds.
Well, starts to feel like this could end at any moment. Elite in a good position with his T-32, but being pushed back, which means he can no longer deny the base capture. 2 seconds to go, and I think that's going to be it. Susie D-Juice makes a shot, but misses it, and that is going to be it. Elong is up now 3-0 in this series.
Oof. Elong just showing us time and time again how incredibly innovative they are with their strategy, and I love that. They take the RU-251, they run him off, and it's kind of like a distraction. You guys go. I'm just going to run
I mean, Elong is a type of team that, like, imagine if they were told they're playing against like a bunch of sandbags sitting in the chair, like they can't move, and the tanks spawn. They'd be like, I don't know, we gotta play really safe. What if the sandbag falls over and moves the tank and we lose? We gotta play super safe. Like they just like take everything that they're up against, no matter how much of an advantage they have, no matter how likely it is that like they had 3 seconds left. They see Dexta coming. They're like, if he misses, we win. But I'm not going to take that chance. I'm not even going to take the chance to take a little bit of damage, even though we're ahead in tanks as well. They'll just move out. Yeah, we're going to win this game no matter what. Like, no matter what's happening.
No, that was really, really well done. I like their strategy. Elong is just so safe. And they have, you could tell that their communication is so good, just in terms of their focus fire, in terms of their positioning, just like where they are on the map, Yeah.
I wish 2 things right now, Susie. One is that I could listen to Elong's comms. And 2, that I can speak Chinese so I can understand what they're saying. But like, I really want to know, like, in that moment, are they like, get out, get out, get out, get out, focus them down. Like, I just want to hear what they have to say in these moments.
Oh, that's got to be crazy. Okay, well, let's see if they can show us some crazy strategies again in set number 4. Let's go. Okay, set number 4. Elong Gaming is up 3 games now, and this is the last game on this map, Steps. And here's the tank lineup. It looks exactly the same as set number 3.
Yep, you're exactly right, Susie. No changes. And let's see if Elong wants to change their approach here. I do like how they moved all together early. Took a very aggressive position. Like, what this lineup allows more than what Team Efficiency's lineup allowed is this earlier setup near the base capture 1. Because with an IS-3, this isn't really possible. You can't get there fast enough with all your tanks to actually have a good position. But with this RU-251, like you're saying, it's like the fastest tank you're ever going to see in competitive play. You bring it in here, and you can get to that location so fast and set up so fast.
Okay, well, you could also see here, Team Efficiency, again, going to take that nice positioning for the defense. They're going to kind of line, I don't know what to call it. Is that a hill or a ledge or this little thing here you guys can see here from Elite down to
like
Mega Joel. It's a little bump, but that's usually where the defensive team will go ahead and position themselves. Wow, EL Gaming just taking some shots, trying to see if there's anybody over there.
Look at this position for Elong. Every tank a buddy, every tank a partner.
Yep.
A perfect lineup there. All together.
Okay, well, here's Nice. He's going to go off on his own and leaving his buddy behind. Fox is like, hey, guys, I want to go with you. But Nice is just going to head up there, take a look, see if he can take a shot, basically, at any of the tanks up all the way north.
I actually really like what we're seeing here from Reflection. Almost no 12 tons on this map actually take blind shots like this. They only wait until they can make the shot for sure. but he's actually just going to use all of his shells early on because he knows a big fight isn't going to happen for a while. So if he gets lucky and hits, say, Maw, or hits another one of these T-54s, he's going to do so much damage, then he just reloads. Like, he's already reloaded. Why not actually make those shots? Because if he connects any of them, it's going to be incredible damage.
Okay, so all right, both teams playing it a bit safe. It looks like EL is going to go in for it, though. You can see here Guan Ren pretty close to Maw. He wants to get rid of that 12-ton. He really wants to get rid of that 12-ton. Black is going to finish it off.
This is the exact same thing that happened in Game 1. They eliminated Maw early on, and that gave them enough of an advantage to actually constantly outposition team efficiency. And we're going to see that again. I want to point out that Elon has not taken a single bit of damage this entire game, not a single point of damage.
That is pretty ridiculous, actually, now that I think about it. Wow. They're being shot at. Okay, Nice is the first one to get chipped off just a tiny bit. Elite, however, needs to back off. He does not want to be a target anymore.
70 seconds to go, base capture. Still staying in there. Elite misses the shot, and he has a long, long reload timer, so he's not going to be able to take another one for a while. But look at this position. It's basically perfect. Like, Nice and Fox are probably not going to be able to penetrate him there because you've got that, only the turret is exposed at this point. Mega Joel taking a shot at Fox here again. But the positioning for Elong is closing in like a, you know, like a bunch of sharks like coming in on their prey or something. They're just like getting closer and closer.
Definitely getting closer, and you can see here we have another T-54 who's going to join the base, trying to get this base capture down faster. Spring is going to join that party. It's now 9 seconds, and team efficiency really needs to do something to disrupt this.
Yep. Oh, a good shot there by Mega Joel does slow it down, but it's just looking so desperate. Now look at Siki. The second he shows his face, they shoot even through the bush.
Oh my gosh, yeah, he was trying to hide in that bush, but you know what? After being focused by 3 tanks, immediately another 2 tanks get on him, and he is out.
I gotta say, Elite is playing this T-32 perfectly. He knows exactly what he's doing. It's just the rest of his teammates are starting to fall around him. He can't hold things together by himself. And, you know, it's just, again, they're getting picked apart little by little because they lost that 12-ton early on. And they're just being, their tanks are being focused down one by one every single time. And again, now it's 7 tanks to 5. Dexa gets low.
Yep. I mean, Fox, again, he is in the same position as he was from before, trying to take shots from afar. We could see on team efficiency, they're still holding ground, though. They're not really moving from their position. You're right, Elite has been playing this T-32 very well, really utilizing the terrain for his advantage. And I don't know if that's going to be enough. Base capture again, down to 9 seconds.
Yeah, and they might even put Fox in here. If they put Fox in there, they'll have to hit 2 tanks to deny that. Oh, look at this. Nice is actually just going to distract Elite so they can get the capture time down, and that's going to win it for them. No interruptions, and Elong is going to take the map 4-0 before we go into Lakeville. Elong, in those last 2 sets, owned the map. It was like it was theirs. It belonged to them the entire time.
They controlled that so well. You know, I think Elong is probably one of the only teams we've seen in this league who, on the attack, who have actually won by base capture.
Yeah, actually, I don't even think we've ever seen it. It might be the first time we've ever seen that map ended by base capture. Besides, like crazy scenarios where you got like 1 tank running around, for example. Yeah,
but it's just Elong just does it. They're able to base capture. They don't even try to eliminate their opponents. They actually finish the game by base capture, and that's really rare. Most of the games we've been seeing, it's just literally just fire and explosions all the time.
Right, they're
very
like
smart.
They're very aware of the second win condition, which is to win by base capture, and they are able to use that to pressure their opponents. Even on a big map like this, they're able to force opponents in such a place of only Elite is the only tank that can actually deny base capture. Him alone, that's crazy.
Yeah.
We've seen them rush Ghost Town, take base captures really early on in that game as well. Like, they're incredible.
They are really incredible. Okay, well, the next map we're going to go into is Lakeville. And we want to introduce this beautiful summer village to you. This is where I would live if I could choose a map to live on.
Yeah, this is definitely where I'm taking my vacation later, Susie, after the season ends. I'm going to Lakeville.
Okay, well, be careful of tanks because there's quite a bit of them.
I'm going to drive there in my T-54. I'm going to get there quick.
All right, so here you guys can see that there are 2 ways, one down the valleyway and one into the city. And look, this is what the city looks like when there's tanks shooting all around it. Be careful, Wolf.
Yeah,
make sure you have sunscreen.
Yeah, it gets a bit hot. I don't want to get burned, Susan.
So here we go from the aerial view. The attacking side spawns up north while the defense spawns on the south end. And then you can see the 2 base captures, one being towards the city and the other one over by the mountains over on the west.
Yeah. So, I mean, we actually, when we started the season out, almost all the teams that were winning on this map were actually trying to control the city and then moving to the base capture. But the meta has kind of shifted towards actually rushing with a few tanks through the valley and then kind of disrupting the defensive team from two sides, leaving your heavy tanks kind of on the city side and your lighter tanks on the valley, disrupting the defense at the left base capture point, and then eventually winning either by elimination or by capturing that point. So we've even seen crazy strategies. We've seen people like slowly push IS-3 to the valley. This map, I feel like, is the map that we've seen the most diversified strategies on. Would you say? I think it is.
I think so. I think so because it is a newer map. It's a new map for the tournament, at least. This is the first time it's coming out on here, and so these teams just coming out with some crazy strategies and having fun. I do like the fact that there's so much different terrain on there. You know, there's the mountain, the valley. You've got the city side. So it depends on what kind of tanks you pick. Really influences how you're going to be able to push.
Sure, it's so much more unique than a map like Steps because the general idea of Steps is speed is the most important thing. You need to get to your positions as soon as possible.
Right.
Even if you look at a map like Ruinberg, where it's like you've got to get out of the city ASAP. You look at this map, and it's like you're gonna have to have a mix of all sorts of tanks in most cases.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to see what kind of tanks we have in the lineup. Game number 5. Okay guys, set number 5, Team Efficiency versus EL Gaming. Elong is up 4 games. This could be the last game of the series, and it's on Lakeville, and I'm sad because I like Lakeville.
Well, let's see if Team Efficiency can take a win here. 2 5100s, that's pretty bold out of Elong. We usually see teams run one 5100 and one 1390 because the 1500s the 5100s are a much bigger target. And they will go down quickly and they're very slow. But 2 lightweights as well, so they're going to be able to send those right away to disrupt from behind, like I was saying. Actually, they're bringing the 5100s there as well.
Whoa, all right. Yeah, Elong, the way that they're playing, I can't believe this. The 2 5100s, like you said, heading up north, they're going to go valley side.
Yeah, and it looks like right now Team Efficiency is starting to realize this, but they're like a bit confused as to what to do. The LTTB picks are pretty weird to me. I actually don't fully understand those. Looks like they're going to use the LTTBs to actually make sure they can actually take out these T-54s if they come over here. This LTTB is actually pretty good in a fight, and you can have 2 of them. You know, it's better than, like, say, a 12-ton in a fight. If you're just going to be fighting straight up, it's going to constantly be able to do damage. It reloads very quickly.
Well, I mean, having an LTTB, I think, is actually kind of smart in a way because Team Efficiency kind of wants the strongest possible tanks to go, right? And so maybe their decision was we would rather have all 7 tanks be similar in, I don't know, in what's the word I'm looking for?
Consistency? You mean like how much damage they can actually put out?
Yes, thank you very much. That's exactly what I want to say.
That's like it's like a tough thing to describe, but yeah, I knew what you meant.
Okay, as opposed to having one, tier 6 that's going to do less damage.
Sure.
All right, already down this alleyway, you can see that EL Gaming is going to go straight, and they're marching on forward. The LTTB Maw is going to try to take that high ground advantage and focus fire down onto these tanks, but it's not really working very well for him right now.
Yeah,
Maw was the one who was taking more damage.
Exactly. They're actually just running past and getting behind these rocks. Now they're actually able to hide back here. The big challenge is going to be get Spring through these rocks.
Okay, Spring definitely getting focus fire down, but he's still alive, which is impressive. But the 5100 can still do some damage, massive damage. Siki and Megajol going to play peekaboo around the corner, try to get rid of these tanks, but no, they're the ones who are going to take the damage. Now there's no defense. Maw on the LTTB down to 44 HP, 0 HP.
And Susie, the last 3 tanks are all IS-3s.
Oh my god.
It's going to take them a long time to get into a proper position. It also is going to, if I were Fox, I'd actually probably just take that last shot and reload so he can have all of his damage by the time they get there, but it looks like he's just going to keep his 1 shell. Nice over here, and Newman are just going to... They might get taken out here, but they're going to do as much damage as they can before the next battle occurs.
I don't know if there's
actually,
going to be a
just
next battle. Yeah, I think they're just going to win the fights, and if not, I mean, EL's still already on the base capture. They throw 1 more tank in there, and it's going to be down to 10.
Yeah.
So it's either 20 seconds we wait, or 16 seconds we wait, or we're going to go ahead and kill off Dexta and Elite.
It looks like Nice is just going to block these 2 tanks from denying base capture. All he has to do it for 7 more seconds and the game ends. Even if he goes down here, it won't matter. He's done his job.
Yep.
Look at that reflection, even giving some cover fire. The positioning is perfect.
There's no way that they were going to be able to shoot the 3 tanks in the base capture here. The positioning, like you said, absolutely perfect. EL Gaming wins 5-0, and they just showed us exactly how Lakeville should be played. Wow.
Yeah. It was such a risky move. I don't think they would have done it twice if they actually lost that game, because their whole strategy hinged on those 5100s getting behind the rocks. So they rushed in with the T-54s to then draw the fire away from the LTTBs and whatever other tanks were over there waiting for them. And the AMX 5200s barely got through. We saw one of them go down to so low, but he was able to survive. Then they were able to get that maximum amount of damage. And then they had the IS-3s to pin down the rest of the tanks in the middle of the map. Really well done. I mean, I was really surprised that was going to work. Actually, when I saw that 1500 take a lot of damage, I was like, I think this might have been too risky. They might lose, but they barely won.
But, you know, he pulled back just in time to make sure he wasn't killed off, because he still had the ammunition there to do some damage. And then the other 2 tanks just came around him, protected him, and killed off the enemy team. So,
really well played by Elon.
Yeah, seriously, GG, Elon.
GG's.
Woo.
I can't even. I think they're just too good, Susie.
They're so good. It was always a pleasure to watch them play. But okay, so now after an amazing series like that, we're going to go ahead and take a 10-minute break. So please come back, and we will see you very shortly.